evening, everybody. It is Fantasy Football Picks and Bets presented by PrizePicks. I'm your girl, Lauren Carpenter. You can find me at Stepmom Lauren, and we had one heck of a week 15. Holy moly. We still have 4 games yet to play, and it is Monday. Just in case anybody is curious, this is Monday prior to the 2 Monday night games being played, and obviously prior to the 7 p.m. Eastern doubleheader games. Is that what you call it? Head to head? I don't know the terms for it, but we still have 2 more games to play on Tuesday. But that still doesn't mean that I am going to be remiss and not get you some options of waiver wire availability for some players here. Also some streaming options that you guys can take a look at. I am festive. It's Christmas time. All right. I know. I get it. I didn't feel like doing my hair, so that's up. Right? Just, it's how it is. It's how it is. I'm sick. But oh well. The show must go on, and let us go ahead and go on. I am not going to be giving you the prize pick leaderboard update. It is a little early on Monday for them to have updated it yet, but since we have 2 games coming on Monday evening, I want to go ahead and get this video out to our producers, ergo out to you as fast as possible, because I know that there are a lot of adjustments that everyone is going to have to make, not only because we still have more players going on COVID, the COVID-19 reserve list, including Austin Eckler, and now, most recently, Travis Kelce has just been placed on that COVID-19 reserve list. But we had a whole host of injuries that happened from week 15. Like, we all needed that. It was what a crazy week to have our fantasy playoffs in week 15. I mean, all of this had to come to head on week 15. Of course it did. Fantasy football is so much fun. But, if you're not in the playoffs, that's okay. There are still ways to enjoy the rest of the fantasy season, and one of those ways is by heading on over to prizepicks.com, use the promo code MMN, and you get your deposit of up to $100 matched. That is free money to play around with. It's over-under picks. It's very easy to do. It's not just football either. There's tons of sports that are on there. It's my new obsession. I love playing around with prizepicks.com. There's also a link in the description of this video. Remember, promo code MMN to get your deposit of up to $100 matched. And don't worry, I am not going to completely forget about our 7-Eleven challenge, but I will update that next week when I have a little bit more information that I can give on over to you guys. But for now, in this video, we are going to focus on injuries, waivers, and streamers for week 16. So let's go right into it, and I'll start with the most obnoxious news that breaks my heart is Chris Godwin, wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Amazing guy, great football player. I don't know if you saw the hit, but his knee bent in a way knees aren't supposed to bend. Originally, they thought it was an MCL sprain. It's not. It's actually a torn ACL. He is done for the season. That is very unfortunate. And sticking with the Buccaneers here, poor Tom Brady had a rough go of it in their shutout at home against the Saints because Leonard Fournette helicoptered and he hurt his hamstring. Mike Evans injured his hamstring. Those are questionable. We don't really know what's going on with Mike Evans or Leonard Fournette. We are assuming that both are going to miss some time. The last I've heard is that Fournette is expected to miss at least 1 or 2 games. So plan accordingly, because playoff Lenny isn't going to be much help to us if we can't actually have him in our fantasy playoffs. So keep an eye on those 2. Chris Godwin, again, out for the season. Julio Jones, for the Tennessee Titans, he hurt his hamstring. Teddy Bridgewater, that was a very scary collision that he had, the quarterback for the Broncos. He just was flattened and didn't move, and it was very, very scary. We never like to see that, especially someone like Teddy Bridgewater, who has fought back from injury. He spent the night in the hospital. He was evaluated for a concussion, head, neck injury. He says he's doing fine, but the Broncos are expected to move forward with Drew Lock. Good luck, Broncos. As someone from Missouri, I understand this situation with Drew Lock. Another player that is out for the rest of the season is Sterling Shepard of the New York Giants. He tore his Achilles, so he gone. They're likely going to hold Daniel Jones out for the rest of the season as well. So this could be Jake Fromm time. Yay. I mean, I don't even know what's happening with the poor Giants. It's just ew. Not a fun situation. And then with the Steelers, Pat Freiermuth, the rookie tight end who has been making waves throughout the season, he suffered a concussion and had to leave early, so keep your eyes on his status as well. And most recently, Joe Mixon, he has been diagnosed with an ankle sprain. And when I bring up our running back waivers, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into Samaje Perine, who should already be rostered and for some reason is under 15% rostered. It's kind of criminal to me. So let's go ahead and get right in there to our waiver wire targets. Samaje Perine, 13 to 15% rostered. I get it, but Mixon is, he's banged up. And I know Samaje Perine isn't exactly, a just shining star of a backup like an Alexander Madison is, but he can get the job done. They do have a very tough schedule, though. They play the Ravens next and then the Chiefs for that championship weekend in Week 17. So it's not awesome, but volume is volume, and again, only 13 to 15% rostered, so he should be available for you. Now, we did have a team that so far has been out of sight, out of mind. That is the Philadelphia Eagles, and we have Boston Scott and Jordan Howard that are both 30% and 10% rostered, respectively. Now, this is hard because it's, as you know, I've said it before, it's very difficult to trust Nick Sirianni, and Miles Sanders is still on this team as well. But if you need some help, one of these guys may be able to do it for you. Now, they do play on Tuesday of this week, so you do have, I don't want to say a little bit of time because waivers are going to be run when they run, but keep your eye on how they play, see if there's a snap count difference, who gets that kind of volume, and also who might get hurt. Yuck, we don't like that. But they're going to play the Washington football team, then they play the Giants, and then they're going to go ahead and play the Washington football team again. Now, they are also down many players because of COVID-19 and injuries. So keep your eye on how that game rolls forward and see if either one of those, Boston Scott or Jordan Howard, are someone that you might want to pick up. And then for our game this evening, actually the one that is playing right now between the Raiders and the Browns, Dearness Johnson is about 30% rostered. Now, Kareem Hunt is hurt, and the Browns are just ravaged with COVID. This is a very unfortunate situation. So hopefully those players can come off of COVID for Week 16. If they cannot, Dearness Johnson could be an opportunity. He has been explosive when he's been given the opportunity to do so. Their schedule is going to be facing the Green Bay Packers and then the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there is opportunity here if Dearness Johnson does get that said opportunity. And I think I used opportunity like 6 times just in that little blurb. Apparently that's going to be his nickname, is Mr. Opportunity from now on. That's who I am referring to, is Dearness Johnson, is Mr. Opportunity. He's also about 30% rostered. And I hate even saying this because I feel like I'm doing you a disservice by even bringing up a Miami Dolphins running back, but then I feel like I'm doing you a disservice if I don't. So we now have the carousel of running backs continuing to just rotate around with different dudes. And on Sunday, it was Duke Johnson. Really? This is where we are in 2021. Duke Johnson, he had 2 touchdowns. He looked really good, and he played really good. Now, they have a tough schedule as well. They're going to face New Orleans and then Tennessee. And you never know because Salvon Ahmed could be the guy. Myles Gaskin could be the guy. You just never know with the Dolphins. But he is only 5% rostered. It's a desperation play, in my opinion. But hey, you might have to. And another one, a little bit more on the desperation side, but one I like just a little bit more is actually Craig Reynolds for the Detroit Lions. I know. Maybe I'm just jumping all in on the Lions because I was so against them for so long, but I'm really liking what they're putting on the table right now. And Craig Reynolds was officially signed to the active roster. He is only 13% rostered, and they have an excellent schedule. They're facing Atlanta and then Seattle. Now, this is going to depend on the status of DeAndre Swift as well as Jamal Williams, who both missed the game in Week 15. Jamal Williams because of COVID, DeAndre Swift, I think because he was just hurt. But who knows? He might get COVID too. It's going around everywhere. My point is, Craig Reynolds may have his production stunted if either one of those 2 running backs is on the field, but it never hurts to have someone who has proven that they can be productive on the field on your roster in case you need them. Now let's jump into something a little bit more exciting than this stinky running back situation. Wide receivers. If Devontae Parker is somehow not rostered in your league, go grab him now. He is 70% rostered across most platforms, so he's probably not available, but if he is, go get him. I mean, obviously he proved he can do it. He scored a touchdown. I mean, this is what Devontae Parker does. This is what he always does, and this is why I love him. Now, they are activating Jalen Waddle off of the COVID-19 reserve list for Week 16. That literally doesn't hurt Devontae Parker. That helps because defenses are going to have to spread out even more, giving him even more opportunity. Another player that usually breaks my heart, but actually has done quite well, and Aaron Rodgers really wants to get him more involved, is the Packers wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling, more appropriately known as MVS, just so we don't have to put as many syllables in there. He is about 30% rostered. He had an excellent game on Sunday. I can't deny it. They're playing Cleveland and then Minnesota to finish out our fantasy leagues. And then the Lions again. Yay, go Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can't ignore it anymore. He's been getting a ton of volume, and in fact, this week he had 11 targets, 8 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Well done. Another big target game. I like it. I also like the Lions' schedule for wide receivers as well, because they are facing Atlanta and Seattle, as I mentioned, with the running backs, also very solid for them as well. And then Gabriel Davis for the Bills. I mean, he is stepping up in a big way. He can either be boom or bust, but when he booms, man, he booms. In fact, he boomed with 2 touchdowns last week, which was very exciting for us, especially anyone who had to start him as a spot start because of all of this COVID, or if you played him in DFS as a value play. He is still only 20% rostered. I really like this. There's a lot of talent there on the Bills, but it doesn't seem to matter. He likes to look for Davis on big plays, and he likes to look for Davis on big plays in the end zone, which is what we like in fantasy football. Now, I do want to touch on tight ends. I'm not going to say much about them because they're all terrible. All right, we've got David Njoku and Austin Hooper who are playing tonight, so we might have a little bit more clarity about what we can do with both of those players if you want to get them. There's CJ Uzomah, okay. I mean, Gerald Everett, ew. Brevin Jordan for the Houston Texans, really? I mean, this is when you should have planned to pick up your tight end for the rest of the fantasy playoffs. So if you've been listening to my videos, I've been helping out with that a little bit. That's why I like to give the schedule moving forward for tight ends as well as my other players. But this is just gross. There's not a tight end on here that I like. There's not one that I say, go pick up, smash grab, start him. I mean, it's not pretty on the tight end landscape whatsoever. It's gross. I don't like it. I mean, maybe between Austin Hooper and David Njoku if we get a little bit more clarity with what's going on with the Browns, but it's Nick Mullins who's the starting quarterback tonight. Not even Baker Mayfield or Case Keenum. It's not pretty, and I don't like it. So I don't even know what to tell you about tight ends. I wish I had better news for you, but I don't. So let's go into our streaming options here before we wrap up and get ready to go ahead and watch these games on Monday and Tuesday and pray and hope that we make it to the second round of our playoffs if you weren't lucky enough to get a bye. All right, now let's hop into our streaming options here. We have Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins. He is under 50% rostered. He is going up against New Orleans, who just made Tom Brady look very silly. But there is opportunity there for the New Orleans defense to allow points to the quarterback position, and Tua Tagovailoa has been playing very well. So I do like his opportunity there. Jimmy Garoppolo is another one who has been playing very well. He is only 41% rostered playing Tennessee, who also allows a lot of points to the quarterback position. And then finally, we have Justin Fields, 26% rostered, who is facing Seattle, another team that will bleed points to the quarterback position. And then finally, before we wrap up here, we have our defense, special teams that we also need to consider if you are streaming these positions, players. I think it's just position. If you're streaming this position group, I think is a better way to say it. I like Chicago versus Seattle, since we're talking about Justin Fields here. I also really like the Chiefs defense versus Pittsburgh. The Chiefs defense is in fuego. All right, they've stepped up to the plate. They're getting it done, and Pittsburgh is floundering in every single quarter except like the fourth quarter. So I really like the Chiefs defense here. Also, the Eagles are facing the Giants. Did I mention Jake Fromm? Oh, yes, I did. So Eagles, I love that smash play. Go for it. And that's all you have for me today. Like I said, we still have 4 games that are yet to be played. So keep your eye on any players that may jump to the forefront here due to volume or, God forbid, knock on wood, due to injury. Good luck in week 16. I hope you are making it that far in your fantasy playoffs. And you will see me again very soon as we sort out your starts and six for week 16.